Growing up gay and Mormon was difficult to say the least. I grew up with a lot of shame, a lot of guilt and fear, trying to figure out who I am and how I fit in this community. It took a lot of work, and it was a long process, and it's an ongoing process. I remember feeling all the doubt, the self-doubt that was created in me by hearing comments from religious leaders and religious literature about myself, that I was perverted, abominable, all kinds of degrading things that I really took on and internalized. I was also bullied when I was in junior high. My name changed from Tim to Fag, and that went on for a long time, and it really reinforced to me a lot of what I had learned through my religion, that if I was gay, I would be isolated and separated, an outcast. This was something that was a big fear of mine in coming out, and believing too that not only would I be rejected now, but also in the afterlife to a degree, or by my God, which can be an unbearable thought. I did decide to come out after a long internal turmoil, and that was a staged process. I came out to my parents, who were very loving and supportive, although confused and scared. I realized that my story is probably not common for a lot of people in our community, so I'm very thankful for that. One of the things that corrected all of these fears was my parents' love for me. It helped me to challenge the doubt that I would be loved. An example of this was not very long after I had come out, we went to go see Carolyn Pearson's play, Facing East in St. George, and we were driving back and we were talking about the content of the play, and it led to talk about the proclamation on the family. And my parents, the devout Mormons that they are, they had this document hanging on the wall of their home. And I didn't feel very good about that. It was a document that generally spoke negatively of my sexual orientation, and I expressed this concern to them. And they listened, and there wasn't a lot of conclusion from the conversation other than just listening. And several days went by after we went back, and in their home, I had looked on the wall where they had the proclamation hanging before, and the frame was there, but the proclamation wasn't in there anymore, and in its place was a picture of my family. And I thought that was, what a proclamation on the family that my parents made at that moment. That it was a proclamation to me about the family, that relationships are more important than ideas and beliefs, that those are the true healing and formative things that we have in our lives, relationships with each other, love with each other, and respect and mutual support. That was a very powerful experience that I'm very thankful to my parents, because I also realized that it takes a lot of courage to challenge our fears and to really examine our beliefs. It's also necessary too. It's been necessary for me in my healing to overcome a lot of the guilt and the shame and the fear. Also very liberating too. It can also be scary and lonely as well, as you detach yourself kind of from a group thought process. It is something that I found that I had to do for my sanity, is to leave Mormonism, and it took a lot of courage. But I'm also grateful, though I feared not having that community, not having this community I had my whole life. It opened me up to other communities and non-Mormons as a whole. So that's been actually a disconnecting experience that's created more connection in a way, ironically. So it does get better. It does get better if you work it, though. You need to do the work. It doesn't get better if you wait around. It doesn't get better if you don't do anything different. And so I would encourage everybody to take that courage. I know it's scary, but it's even worse to sit in your shame and your guilt and your fear. And I believe in you. I believe that this is something that we can that we can make this world a more affirming and loving place. And I think if we go back to the core, isn't that what we learned as Mormons, that it was all about, mutual love, and the family is not just your immediate family, that we're a human family. And that as we're loving to each other, everyone, whether we're tied together through natural bloodlines, or just by the mere fact that we're human, that's something, a goal worth aspiring for, and something that is achievable. I've seen growth in my life as far as acceptance goes, and I just think it will get better, because it has gotten better, and that's what I base my hope on.